Hi, I'm Dr. Libby Kemkaran and this is Tame Your Brain 16, and we are here using real life kittens as a distraction for your tired brain so that we can drip feed some amazing knowledge and some useful tweaks and twitches to make your daily existence better. And we all need that right now. There's a real groundswell of change coming and it's looking increasingly likely that we're going to need it ongoing. So just look at the state of the world right now. So happy faces on for this 10 minutes of kitten therapy, and breathe and just start to get that magical oxytocin flowing, because we need to move our brains out of this fight or flight mode and instead zoom in on this hug and hold and get this moment to ourselves. I'm changing camera angle today because I've got a fancy new piece of kit, so I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. I'm going to try and swap the cameras around, and we're going to see the babies today. They're a bit close. Valentina, that's really helpful. Can you move back a bit? Thank you. There we go. Right, here we go, chaps. So I'm going to move the camera down. Oh, it's not going to work. I'm just taking it off. Guys. There we go. They're all down here, and they're all fluffy little bundles that are swarming around, all quite happy. Valentina, you move back a bit and then we'll be able to see the babies. Thank you. So I've got my youngest helper with me today, and as such, things may or may not go to plan. We'll see how well this goes. So here are our little ones, and Valentina's got her favourite, which is Pingu, and the others, as you can see, are now really just choosing where they go. They're no longer just this pile of insentient beings. We are now going to talk about something about state today. Caroline asked on the page yesterday, so how do we change state? And this is a massive topic, and one we really need to look at. And why should we change state? And first, also, I just wanted to give you some feedback that I got from the lovely Gemma, who said when we talked about what do you look forward to piece, she really understood suddenly that actually nature's a big thing. And I just wanted to alert you to the fact that when you look for what you're looking forward to doing, what you're thinking of, do think outside the box, because you never know if it's an answer that perhaps doesn't come as quickly. It might be a more powerful one because of that. And when we look at the outside world and how much it means to us all, we've got to remember that obviously when things are restricted, when we're perhaps not as able to access the outside world, it becomes even more important. And in terms of what we're talking about today, which is state, and where we go with our brains when we're in this weird world we're living in, state actually matters quite a lot. So let's put some pieces around this. Why do we say she got herself in such a state? She's such a state. Well, it's a confluence of three things called the Triad. And I'm going to do one of my excellent diagrams in a minute, using the power of felt tip pens. Physiology is the first component. So we've got a little squeak going on there because Valentina's insisting they all need a massive hug. So I'm just going to move over here to drawing this out for you, because this is a really important piece. And I promise you we'll come straight back to the kittens. You can imagine it as a joint thing that happens in our brains, and physiology is the first part. So if I asked you to picture a depressed person, and I asked you to tell me, behind curtain 2, there's a depressed person. What's their body language doing? Is their posture upright and open, or slumped and down? Where is their eye contact going? Is it direct and clear, or perhaps lowered to the floor? What does their face look like? Is it smiling and highly energised, or is it perhaps a little bit slumped and a little bit slack? You know the answers to these guys, because there is a way your body moves that fits a mood, and this is called state, and the first component is your physiology. The other things that are important are these at the bottom of the triangle, and that is your focus, so what you're focused on, and your language. So these three things work together to be really quite important, and when we talk about what your physiology, focus and language are about, we get your escaping kitten. Yes, I can see, baby. Kitten heading out the door there. Another one heading out this side. It's going so well. So when we talk about your focus, we're talking about what language do you use around that. So for example, if you're focused on, God, the world is just such a mess right now, guess what? You feel things differently than if you're focused on, what can I do to make a difference to my community? Move back a bit for me, baby. I'm just going to put them in the middle. Move back. Well done. So when we talk about community, we go beyond ourselves. We trigger our sixth human need of contribution, and we start to do more for people that are not just us. And this is something really powerful. When we just focused on, why has my life turned so upside down and I can't think straight anymore, we're in a completely different state. So if we think about how you hold yourself when you're energized, when you're excited, when you're feeling a little bit outrageous, what does your body do? What does your mind do? Where do you go when you're in that state as opposed to that depressed person state? If you can't sort of picture that, maybe I'll ask you how you feel, like literally the Christmas morning feeling. What do you feel in those times? And if you picture that sort of state as opposed to the end of a long day, I'm knackered, it's been a long week, I don't even know who I am anymore, that's a very different feeling, and your body goes into a different state. So if we talk about this focus on focusing what you feel and that language, the choice of your language directs your thoughts precisely and completely. Your brain is like human Google. You've got a way of searching your brain for answers depending on the question you ask yourself. So that if you think about how we move our brains, the human Google of your brain searches for what you ask it. So if you ask it, why is my life so terrible? Why is my job falling apart? Why is my business crashed? Those are the answers your brain goes looking for, and that sets your state. So your state is very much dependent on, just zooming back to my little diagram, this physiology, focus and language. My diagram is so beautiful, I'm in awe. So I'm going to put this down here so we can see their little faces. When we talk about changing your state, we have to remember these things are based on your beliefs, and your behaviours are set from your beliefs, and the focus of what you feel comes from what's around you. So the thing is, why do we learn how to change state in the first place? Well, here's the thing. If you can switch to a more resourceful state, you can move, no matter what you're feeling, to a place of more resourcefulness. Then guess what? You don't have to suffer those bad feelings anymore, and you can change your world, and then you can begin to change the worlds of those around you. Everything is based on this first idea of understanding what state you're in and then how to change it. So as these little kittens are getting older, they're beginning to have more control over their little lives. They're beginning to have more autonomy and choices, like you saw them all just legging it a minute ago. And we are the same. As we get older, we get more control, we get more choice, more autonomy, but we're also hijacked and we're also triggered. So here's the thing. You can choose whether or not you want to do this, is up to you, but you can choose to move from fearful to curious, for example, or from angry to fascinated. And my kids know that for me, I deliberately go there rather than getting triggered, because I'd rather be fascinated by someone that's got a different opinion to me, because I might then learn something. It stops me from blocking. And then if I go, wow, that's fascinating, tell me more, they literally get up and leave the room because they know I'm about to get deep and meaningful with someone who's got a very different viewpoint to me. And so that's my choice. And you guys can choose that too. So you can choose to move from fearful to something that perhaps is a bit more useful, like curiosity. So I'm going to do that with you tomorrow. We'll cover all of that. I'm not sure if we're going to be allowed to pick up a kitten. Are there any that are not feeding, Evie? Have we got anything that's not permanently locked and loaded? Who have we got today? Is that Strike? Right, so we're going to have a look at our kitten for today. Who can we choose? Oh, lovely. So this is little mini Queenie, obviously called Princess, and she looks like she's probably going to be a short hair, I think. I'm not sure, their fur is quite fuzzy at the moment. So she's very, very inquisitive now, and you can see again the squeal rate has gone down remarkably, and she's got her home, hopefully, I'm going to confirm that later today, with her brother stripe, which is great news. And I have heard there might be another litter of kittens coming in next week as well, so thank you, Evie. So I'm just going to go right down here so we can see. I don't know if we can see that, probably not as much. They're all a furry mass at the moment. So we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. What I wanted to say particularly with regards to state is don't underestimate how powerful this is, because when we think about state, what we're talking about is the ability to change your mind. And that's what Tame Your Brain is about, is the ability to choose your reactions, to choose your placement of your thoughts. And it all comes back to that triad that I've just drawn so beautifully, of that physiology, focus, and language/beliefs. And when we can choose our state, what we get to do is always know how to put ourselves in a more resourceful place. So my homework for you today is list out some of the states you've been feeling in the last week. They won't all be good, some of them will be bloody hideous. But just write them down, just get a list together of what have you gone through, and just have a look at that list and pick 3 that you want to feel more often, because I'm going to teach you how to do that, and it's really cool. So thank you for watching. I hope that's been useful today. I'm going to be back tomorrow, hopefully at 5. I was just speaking at a conference today. There's a brilliant online festival called Sustainable-ish. If you want, I'll share that on my page. I think I put up a post earlier of Ed from the One Earth show is on there as well, on a panel with me. So the recording of that is available, and tomorrow I'm going to be speaking for them again at 11 o'clock. So a reminder to any of you newbies, come and see my website at kemkaran.com, and all of the other videos in this series are there. We're at part 16, so there's another 15 bits of kitten gorgeousness to watch, and we'll be keeping on going for the next 4 weeks to get us all through this with a little dose of something other than crazy. And thank you for watching. If you want to join my email list, that's on kemkaran.com as well, or on my Facebook page, which is, as you know, Libby Kemkaran. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.